Hey everybody, Jay Santana here in lovely Davenport, Iowa. Just want to say hello first. I am a political junkie, have been for many, many, many years. Some of you I've probably worked with over the years in the field or in local campaign offices, etc. Anyway, the reason I'm here today is to tell you that this is 2018. Not that you don't already know that, mind you, but I want to stress the fact that the 2018 midterm elections in the United States are vitally important to our nation, to you as an individual, to your city, your entire community, your state, your county, and our national community. Guys, in 2016, less than I'm sorry, two-thirds of the eligible voters in our nation failed to vote. Why? I don't know. How can 66% of us not get out and vote? Come on. Every year in November, there's an election, whether it's for school board, city council, aldermen, county assessor or recorder, county registrar, whatever. There's elections every year in November. How can we not know this? How can we not get out there and get involved in our government? It's ours. We the people. Remember, beginning of our Constitution. We the people. Actually, Declaration of Independence. Sorry about that. Anyway, it is so important. This year, midterms are more vital than probably ever before. So I want to encourage you to get involved now. We're going to talk just a little bit about this. First, if you are not registered to vote, please go. Please go register to vote. It's important. You have an obligation, I believe, as a citizen of the United States to register to vote. And more importantly, to actually show up on election day, whenever that is, in November, and vote. Exercise your right to vote. With that right comes a great responsibility. Your failure to vote means you can't complain about anything, locally or nationally whatsoever. Not the economy, not the job situation, not health care, not crazy sex scandals, nothing. You chose to silence your own voice. Shame on you. Shame on you. Anyway, back to my subject at hand here. I very strongly feel that these midterms are perhaps the most important in my lifetime anyway. I'm nearly half a century old, so I've seen a lot of elections. I've voted in just about every election since I was 18. I've always felt it was an obligation that I had to do. In order for me to have a voice, I have to vote. Otherwise, I need to hush up and go away. Next, let's talk about local politics. Whether it's a school board election, city council, aldermen, any elected representative in your local area is important to you, believe it or not. Local elections have the lowest voter turnout of any elections in our nation, sadly. Get involved locally. That's where you live. That's where you shop. That's where you dine out. That's where you go buy your groceries. That's where you go to the movie. That's where you go buy a new car. Locally. Those politicians impact nearly everything you do, whether it's a local municipal bond for a new school or jail, whether it is a bond issue sales tax to increase it by a quarter or 0.5%, whether it's a curfew for individuals under the age of 16 or things like that. Those are your local officials. They have a direct impact on your day-to-day life. Your local officials determine funding for public transit, funding for homeless shelters, funding for pet shelters, funding for everything, including your schools, including your roads, your local roads. They impact you every single day of your life. Get involved. Find out who's running for election this year or who's up for re-election. Decide whether you stand with them or if you're against them. And do something about it other than just vote. Talk to friends, to family, your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, your parents, your grandparents. Talk to them. Let them know how important 2018 midterm elections are, even at the local level. Moving on to state. This year, there are approximately 35 state governorships up for election. That's a lot. More than we normally see. Each state determines how long a governor is going to sit, whether it's 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 8 years. Each state determines that. So really, let's seriously think about what we're going to do at the state level. Talk to people like your state representatives, your state senators, your state assemblymen. Um, get involved. Find out what their campaigns stand for. Find out what their platform is, where they stand on the issues that are important to you as an individual. Okay? Find these things out and do something about it. Don't just hang out and think it's gonna be okay. It's not. We've proven that. 2016 is evidence of that. If we don't do something and if we don't act up and if we don't get out and vote, other people will make our decisions for us. And that's really not okay. So many of us are angry and frustrated right now with the state of things in our nation. But ultimately, we have only ourselves and our neighbors to blame. Donald Trump didn't elect himself. Hillary Clinton didn't lose the election by herself. Um, the people being appointed today didn't appoint themselves. They're being appointed by the person who was elected by our nation by way of the Electoral College to lead our country. And whether you agree or disagree with his politics, please respect the office of the president of our nation. You don't have to agree with it. You don't even have to like it. But please respect the office that he sits in. It pains me to say that some days because I am definitely not a Trump supporter or a Republican supporter at all. I'm just not. I am a pretty staunch Democrat. I've worked for Democratic candidates for the better part of 15 years, 20 years almost. Anyway, and it's just, it's respect the office that these elected people hold. They asked to get there and we let them get there. Respect our decision, be accountable for the decision that we as a nation made. As I said, you don't have to agree with it, just respect it. Next, I want to move on to federal elections in 2018. Federal midterms always have a dismal, dismal, dismal voter turnout. This year, it is vitally important that every single eligible voter in this nation gets out and vote. Don't sit home and be lazy and eating your chocolate bonbons, watching whatever on TV. Take 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 5 minutes, for goodness sake, go vote. If you can't get there for whatever reason, or you just don't want to go vote, guess what? Get an absentee ballot. Vote early. The motor voter law allows you to register when you get your driver's license. Most places have same or nearly same day voter registration. There are going to be some changes this year with voter ID laws, I'm sure. But don't let that discourage you. As a matter of fact, let that motivate you. Let's get people in there who don't require a driver's license and a social security card and birth certificate and a DNA sample to let you vote. Fix it. It's in your hands. Your hands. Not mine. Not everybody else's. Yours. Okay? Not to lecture or get all motherly or preachy, but all of our elections, from the lowest level at our community and city levels to the highest level, the White House, rest in your hands. Folks, we always tout our rights in this country. The right to, unfortunately, bear arms, the right of freedom of speech, the separation of church and state, the right of protection against self-incrimination under the Fifth Amendment, the right to vote at the age of 18. Each one of those rights bears significant responsibility. Okay? Significant responsibility comes with these great rights that we have in this nation. Fortunately, we still have them. However, don't count on them being there forever. If you let somebody else decide what our nation is going to do and how it's going to be led, you may, be complicit in leading us down the wrong path. Do you want to be? I know I don't. I want to know that I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm still going to be able to peacefully assemble, to say and write and blog and vlog about what I want to. The only way I can ensure that is if I vote. My candidate may not win, but at least I know I had a voice in that election. I had a direct impact on the outcome of that election. I know some of you are saying, yeah, but president's elected by the Electoral College ultimately. That's a whole other discussion. I'm not going to dabble in that right now because I could speak for hours about the Electoral College. May do that sometime soon. Yeah, sounds good. Anyway, what I want to say to you is every single United States congressman, i.e., representatives in the House of Representatives, is up for election every 2 years. Every 2 years, 435 members of the United States House of Representatives are up for election. What does that tell you? It should be a huge red flag and tell you that our representatives while they are in fact elected to represent us and be our voice in the House, they are in a perpetual state of campaign mode. I can tell you from years of experience, campaigning is exhausting. It is mentally and physically exhausting. I cannot imagine winning an election tonight and going right back into campaign mode the next day. And that's what our congressmen have to do. They they are constantly campaigning, day in, day out. That contributes to why they work so few days every year. They are in constant campaign mode. Let's talk about the US Senate. Currently, majority is with the Republicans. They've got 51, we've got 49. You gotta flip that around, guys. Let's do better. All right? There are 35 seats up for election or re-election in the United States Senate. Who do you want to control your Senate in November? November 6th is election day throughout the United States. There may be other local elections between now and then, or special elections, such as the one held last night in Missouri. But guys, please get involved. If you don't know how to get involved, please contact me. You can leave me a message here. You can find me at JTWB768 everywhere on social. Hit me up. Heck, I'm going to be bold here. Send me a text message. Say, hey, Jay, I need to know about who my candidates are in this area. You can text me at 319-800-4169. Again, every place on social, JTWB768, or text me at 319-800-4169. I'll get you pointed in the right direction. Thank you for paying attention to this, and please get involved in politics, whether it's locally, hyperlocal, at a school board election, city council, whatever, all the way up to the White House in 2020. Get involved, be responsible. Understand that with the great and wonderful and amazing rights that we have in this nation, we also have great responsibility. We and we alone are accountable for the outcomes of our elections. Donald Trump didn't win the election by himself. He won with a bunch of votes. Hillary Clinton didn't lose by herself. She lost by a bunch of votes in the Electoral College. We have a direct impact on all of those things. We have a direct impact on our school board, on our city council, on our aldermen, on our state representatives, our assemblymen, our state senators, our United States congressmen and senators, and our president. And in many states, we elect our judges, for goodness sake. Come on, get it together. Be responsible. Get out and vote. Have a great day, everybody.